up for my man, Johnny Colletti.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Woo, woo.
All right. Woo.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, this is one of my first times ever being on stage in front of people doing this kind of thing. It's very exciting. I can see that. I can see 20 years in the future, people are going to look and they're going to say, "Wow, he was doing some of that innovative shit back then. It's incredible." Of course, the audience didn't laugh; they didn't get it yet. So don't laugh tonight. I have the highest respect for kids who are in spelling bees. That's a hard thing to do. You gotta learn how to spell hard words, anti-disestablishmentarianism, all these kind of things. So they know a lot of stuff. One thing they don't know, though, is that it's not cool to be in a spelling bee. You know what the worst thing about getting something from Amazon is? That somebody says, "Hey, where'd you get that really cool Nehru jacket?" You're forced to say, "Amazon." Conversation over. That's about the end of it. Oy. I feel very strongly about music, and I also feel very strongly that boring music annoys the hell out of me. Like yacht rock annoys me. Like country music, it's kind of like as if like bad 80s music had like a head injury and a drinking problem. I like thinking about words. I do. I like thinking about words, right? Yeah, especially like the words that people got lazy with when they first started making them, like walkie-talkie. Let's say let's call this thing. It's a walkie and it's talkie-walkie. It's ridiculous. And like when they first came out with the movies, it's like, oh, let's see the movies. They're moving. It's absolutely ridiculous. And an orange. It's like, they say, what is the orange? Okay, let's stop there. That's exactly the name for it. It's huge. I'm a little narcissistic. I don't say so myself. I think that if I was, instead of being murdered, I think I should be considered assassinated. That's what I think. Yeah, but I'm getting a little older now. I'm a little bit past my expiration date, perhaps. The items have shifted in flight a little bit throughout the lifespan here. They got to smell me to make sure the use-by date hasn't been gone. But the aging is tough, man. Aging is tough. It gets on me. To me, it's like the '90s are like the end of a movie. It's like the credits kind of deal. It's like the movie's still going on, but it's pretty much over. To me, it's like aging is kind of like going across country. You start off in the green and verdant childhood of youth here in Virginia, and you traverse the Appalachian Mountains in your adolescence, some challenges. Maybe you take a left, you go to Florida, do some meth for a while. Or you can keep going across country in your 30s and your 40s. Those are your productive days when you are getting things done. Kind of boring, but straightforward. But then you get to my point and you start to see those rocky mountains of aging, and it's very frightening, if I want to say so myself. Yes, I totally want to get to all the way to Hawaii and drink the Mai Tais, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen to me. Yeah, I used to work speaking of aging, I used to work in a nursing home, okay, back in the day, like in the 80s. So this was the cohort of people who grew up in like the early 1900s, basically the flappers. And boy, they were slutty. I'm telling you. They were handsy and all of that. And you don't know the enjoyment of life until you've been catcalled by a pioneer woman. It's ridiculous. They used to say these things that were just like, old-timey phrases, like, the usual, like, "Ooh, what's cooking, good looking?" A lot of that stuff. But then they would start saying stuff that was from back in the olden days, like one of them was like, "Fancy a bit of gustic" is something they used to say. So she used to be like, "Ooh, fancy a bit of gustic." It's ridiculous. Another one, you want to make a stain? Is it true? This is the actual true things that they said. It's terrible. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. So yeah, we're in the future now. You know, I understand that if you look at the cartoons, that George Jetson was actually born. The character is born in 2022. Seriously. So we're in the future, and the joke with George Jetson was always like he's tired all day from pressing buttons all day in the future, because that's kind of what we all do. Yes. So George Jetson. So George, you know, that's something that you have. Either you know what I'm talking about, or I prove my point that we're in the future. You know what George Jetson is. Thank you all very much for your attention. Rock and roll.
Johnny Colletti, everybody. Oh, heck.